Hello and welcome back. So the F1 2021 season is finally underway, and today we had the Bahrain 2021 GP's qualifying, and I think it was worth the wait. And we have some really interesting results coming up in from the qualifying. Max Verstappen has clinched the pole position for Red Bull, and perhaps this is the beginning of the end for of the Mercedes domination in this hybrid era. Max Verstappen has put in three purple laps. Three purple sectors in his final Q1 lap, clinching pole position, and the margin with which he has gained the pole position is also rather spectacular, with almost zero point 0.4 seconds gap over second place Lewis Hamilton in Mercedes. In third position, we had Valtteri Bottas, which who has complained about lack of balance in his car in his post race interview. So that rounds up the top three. We also had Charles Leclerc put in a very interesting lap by going P4 in his relatively underpowered Ferrari, and he is perhaps punching way above his weight. In P5, we have Pierre Gasly, and AlphaTauri has been showing some phenomenal pace. In fact, Yuki Tsunoda has put in some stellar laps in Q3, but unfortunately he couldn't make it into Q1. Else, it would have, I think, otherwise we could have seen two AlphaTauris in top 10. So the McLarens also had good pace, and they look well poised to be the midfield leaders. Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris placed 6 and 7. In P8, we have Carlos Sainz, who has almost zero point 0.6 gap from his teammate Charles Leclerc, but we have to see how he adapts to the new car over the upcoming season. And it was a dream comeback for Fernando Alonso in newly named Alpine and erstwhile Renault team, going into top 10 and finishing P9 eventually. And rounding up the top 10 is Lance Stroll in his Aston Martin. Interestingly enough, Sergio Perez in the other Red Bull has not made it into Q1, and he had a rather scruffy lap in Q2, in which he had his first lap in. He went out in his first Q2 lap using mediums and couldn't put together a good lap, and he was confident enough. He had a choice to make and whether to go with soft tires uh, for his second Q2 run, but he was confident enough that he would get through using his medium tires in his second run, but that didn't end well to him, so to speak, and he finished P11 and missed out on in getting into Q10. Otherwise, we would have seen, I guess, a rather tight fight towards the in the top four positions, with Sergio Perez being in the mix along with the other couple of Mercedes. In fact, this is a rather big advantage for Max Verstappen and Red Bull in tomorrow's race, because they'll be they have to ward off two Mercedes as with one Red Bull, and they have some relatively less options to play around with strategy. In P12, we had Antonio Giovinazzi, who has put in a rather stunning lap. He was almost 6 tenths up on Kimi Raikkonen. And in P13, we had Yuki Tsunoda. Like I said, he was having a rather good qualifying in Q1 and Q2 sessions. Tsunoda, in fact, is a driver whom I think we should be looking forward to eagerly, because this is his first ever F1 race, and he has perhaps justified being given an F1 seat. So in P14 we had Kimi Raikkonen. In P15 we had George Russell, who has continued to who has continued his qualifying streak of or qualifying his teammates in Williams. That is, in P16 we had Esteban Ocon in another Alpine. In the other Alpine, Fernando Alonso has finished 9 and Ocon is in 16. Nicolas Latifi in 17, and interestingly enough, Sebastian Vettel is in 18 for Aston Martin. He had a rather unfortunate lap in Q2. So Sebastian Vettel has come across two yellow flags in his flying lap in Q2, and Otmar Safnauer was saying that he has lost almost 4 tenths of time due to this. So I think there's a lot more to see from Vettel over the course of this season. And the two Haas cars are the last two cars on the grid, with Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin finishing off in P19 and P20. So I think this is going to be an interesting race, and in fact interesting season to look forward to. We have been People have been waiting for a battle between Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton for quite a long time, and I think it's game on now.